That was quiet.
Happy late New Year.
I forgot that I had a biscuit still in my mouth. That was quiet, wasn't it?
It was, because they
I
are
think
quite
we've
full.
progressively got less energy and more times. Like, next week it'll just be like the faintest little... I can't be arsed.
No. It's been a good couple of days. New Year. New Year, new us.
Not really.
No, same us.
Anyway. Hello. Welcome to MasterCast.
Episode
6. Yeah.
It's gone surprisingly well.
We put the call out to people who we know. And people responded. Although not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter.
Not on Twitter. Not getting any followers. So, do give us a follow on Twitter if you want. At the _master_cast. That, you know, and then, because it gives me more of a reason to actually
have a Twitter.
Use it. Because at the moment I don't tweet. I look at, you know, I'm following people on it and I'm looking at those things. But I want to be able to actually use it myself a bit more. And no one's followed it.
No one's followed.
So give us a follow if you want. But thanks for
the views.
The views, for the support. The general feedback that I've got from talking to people is that people are kind of saying they're a bit long, because they're like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
People saying they're a bit long. Maybe we'll make him a little bit short. We'll probably make him closer to
an hour,
like the last one was. But it's just kind of where we're at with how much we want to talk about something.
Yeah.
That's not going to be fixed today, though. Today, I mean, I can't see into the future, so I don't know how long this is going to be, but I suspect it's going to be a big one. So buckle up, boys and girls.
It's the Doctor Who.
It's the Doctor Who one we've been promising for weeks.
Yeah, we'll do it at the end of the series, then the New Year's special got no series out. We'll do it after New Year's.
Yeah.
It's after New Year's.
It is.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, we've been fairly secretive. Not secretive, but we've not really been we've only really been general
about what we say about Doctor
yeah,
Who.
we've been very kind of, but what overall, just quickly to summarise before we get into details and stuff, what did you think of this series of 10 episodes and the New Year special? We'll lump it in. I mean, it's not technically part of the series. I think when it comes out on like DVD and Blu-ray, I think they'll be separate.
Oh yeah, they will.
It won't be classed as part of Series 11, which is a bit silly, but
whatever.
It's what it is.
I liked it. I liked it. It's fun to watch.
I think overall, I did like it. I started off really enjoying it. Kind of became more not as bothered by it at the end, but I've been rewatching them. I was rewatching like pretty much the tail end of the series yesterday, just so I could make sure that I've seen every episode at least twice now, and 2 of them I've seen like 2.5 times.
I've just seen them all the once.
So I just, because, you know, I think it's important to watch it multiple times. My opinion on pretty much all of them changed in some way after a rewatch. So, apart from episode 1, I don't think I've really changed my stance on that much after I rewatched it. But yeah, overall, I think I did like it. I think it lost momentum a little bit by the end. Like the marketing and stuff for it kind of felt a bit half-assed when you got to like episode 8 or 9, you know. But I generally liked it. Supposedly the reason we're not getting a series until 2020 is because just from rumours and stuff I've heard. So take this all with a pinch of salt. Is that the BBC didn't expect it to be such a massive hit in terms of the ratings and just the general response. Because although it seems like the fan base is divided of people who love it and people who hate it, and it's all SJW, PC agenda pushing crap, that's more that the ones who are vocally negative about it, I think, are just a very vocal minority.
Oh, they are.
And the majority of people
watch it.
Are positive about it and really liked it. I mean, you can tell from the fact that the people who are saying it's crap, their main point of argument, their main point of proof of their point at this
stage.
Yeah, is that the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is low. Which that's ridiculous.
Well, one thing
but I don't, let's not get into that.
About putting scores on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that is if you are very middle of the pack, it's alright. You don't bother with putting a review down. The only extremes put down.
Only the extremes and even the ones who are who extremely like something will usually only put it to make a point.
Yeah.
So it's people who hate it who are doing it to make a point.
Yeah.
And are then going, look, that's proof. Like, no, it's not. Anyway, I don't want to get into all of that, to be honest. I hope that the year off will kind of soften that, and hopefully by the time Series 12 rolls around, that will just... I don't think it will ever go away at this point, but I hope it just kind of...
Yeah.
People get over it.
It is baffling.
But it is what it is, but I don't particularly want to, because I could rant about that all day, but I'm not going to. So I suggested to you, when we were talking about doing this, I mean, I did suggest doing a ranking, but I don't think we necessarily have to. I just want to talk about the titles of the episodes this year, because my God, they have been some of the weirdest titles. Whoever thought that the title Arachnids in the UK was a good idea.
Shall I get a list of all the...
I know them all anyway. But
I don't know them all.
Do you want me to go through them?
No. I'll Google them. Doctor Who series. Just 1 second.
Some of them sound really cool. Some of them sound rubbish. Some of them are the most boring titles you've ever heard. Because I think, a lot can be said about a title of a Doctor Who story. I think there are some episodes where the title sounds really cool and the episode's crap.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start off with the first episode. Mm-hmm. The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Good title.
It was the fact that if you looked at people, like visual effects people on YouTube doing mock-up title sequences, like fan title sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like the title of the episode they will put in was generally like The Woman Who Fell to Earth or something. It was like a stand-in.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't know what, but it's a woman and she's falling. The woman who fell, and then that's the actual title of the episode. I think it's fine. And also it refers to Grace.
Yeah.
Because she fell off a crane and died.
Okay. Right. The Ghost Monument. Reference to the TARDIS.
Yeah. I think it sounds very intriguing.
It does. I never thought that would be the TARDIS when I first heard the title of that episode, but now it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a monument, and it fades in and out. Third episode, Rosa. Very
lazy.
Yeah. Can't... No, we're going to talk about lazy titles. Episode 4, Arachnids in the UK.
I get that it's supposed to be a pun on anarchy in the UK, but it's not close enough to work.
No.
It's just too much of a stretch. Arachnids suggests that it's more than just spiders. It's not.
Can you imagine a giant scorpion?
It's just spiders.
Can you imagine a giant
scorpion? In the UK, suggests it's not just Sheffield, but it is just Sheffield.
So what would you prefer?
In fact,
spiders in Sheffield?
Spiders in Sheffield. It sounds ridiculous, but it's more accurate, isn't it? Spiders in a hotel in Sheffield.
Spiders in a not opened yet.
It's just cringe-worthy. It's not as bad as I originally thought it was when I first heard it, but it's still okay.
Okay. Episode 5, the Tsuranga Conundrum.
That just sounds. I don't know what the Tsuranga Conundrum is. To me, that sounds like a code or something that they get. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, it's like a.
I'm not gonna lie. That does sound like a cool title. However, in relation to the episode, which is no.
The Tsuranga Conundrum of the title is. The ship is a Tsuranga ship or something.
It's a Tsuranga vessel.
Yeah, it's a Tsuranga vessel.
And the conundrum is ting.
Yeah. But, like... You write that episode and the title you think of is the Tsuranga Conundrum? Well, okay.
When you think...
It feels like he was trying too hard to make a cool title.
That should be the title of a mystery.
Yeah.
But it's not, so...
But it's not.
Okay. Episode 6, Demons of the Punjab.
Fine. Normal. That's the most normal sounding title.
My favourite one. Episode 7. Kerblam!
Kerblam! I first saw that and I was like, I don't get it. Knowing that the thing in the episode is called Kerblam, it makes sense. But
and the big thing in the ending is a Kerblam.
Kerblam. It's the first episode title to use punctuation because it's got a exclamation mark in it.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Episode 8, The Witchfinders.
Boring, like Rosa.
Yeah.
Fine, but boring.
Episode 9, It Takes You Away.
Very interesting, very intriguing. Sounds like an episode of Class.
However...
Have you, because some of the Class titles, Co-Owner of a Lonely Heart, Brave-ish Heart, I think the first episode is called, like, For Tonight We Might Die. One of them is called The Metaphysical Engine, or What Quill Did. Really try-hard titles. You know, they're, like, deliberately making it sound like, isn't this a weird way to title an episode? And I think It Takes You Away. It's kind of like that. And it's also kind of got nothing to do with the episode. The girl says it while she's hiding under the table, but I don't really understand why she says it. I rewatched that episode yesterday and I still don't understand why it's called that. But...
Well, if we're going to talk about try-hard titles...
Oh, God.
Series 11, Episode 10. The Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos. There's not a battle.
There's not a battle. I mean, you could argue that there is, but there isn't.
There's not a battle.
And, like, naming the planet Ranskoor of Kolos, alright.
I mean, it's
a bit try-hardy.
It's not as in your face as Ranskoor of Kolos.
You know, it's not like Rex Vox Jax. Shout out to anyone who can tell me. It's where the brothers Hop Pylene come from. They created and copyrighted the Hyper Slip? No. I don't know. They're in it's a nice Doctor story. Okay. I saw it yesterday, that's why it's in my mind. Calling the planet Ranskoor of Kolos, fine. Putting it in the title, why would you do that? That would, to me, if I was someone who it was a kind of a casual viewer, and I saw that title, I'd be put off.
Yeah. Well, if you sort of a casual viewer, then you'd just be like, oh God, is this a reference to something?
Yeah, they'd be like, well, what's this? It's a bit too in-your-face sci-fi, I think.
Yeah.
And then we've got...
Resolution.
Of the Daleks.
It's not actually titled.
It's not, it's just called Resolution.
But you choose to add...
But why it's not called Resolution of the Daleks? Because the thing is, there's no title sequence at the start of that. When that episode started, I thought they were going to do a pre-titles sequence, so they could be like, the army conquered the foe, and reveal it was a Dalek, and then have the title sequence and it be Resolution of the Daleks. But they didn't. There's no title sequence, again. So it's not like you are hiding... I understand hiding it to not spoil the surprise of the Dalek, even though you then make a trailer where you spoil the surprise of a Dalek, but that's not neither here nor there.
Oh, that really irritates me.
Yeah,
I like the trailer.
Does it have a name? And then the Doctor exterminates. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Because
Great.
I remember.
Thanks. Everyone knew it was a Dalek anyway, but it would have been nice to find that out in the episode.
I hoped it wasn't a Dalek.
So did I, but... Well, I don't know.
It was a Dalek. We can't change that now.
I don't mind that it was a Dalek, but I wouldn't have minded if it wasn't. I could have done without the Daleks for a bit longer.
Yeah, definitely.
But we'll get on to resolution later on.
Are we going to start our review with episode 1 like normal people?
Yeah, I guess we can talk about... we'll probably end up talking about like the main cast members and the music and stuff as we go along. So I reckon we just get into it. How long have we been? I mean, we've already been here for 15 minutes.
Let's let it carry on.
So, episode 1.
The woman
who fell to earth. What did you think of it, Paul?
I liked the opening parts of it where the pod crashed into earth. It's just like, oh my god, what is this? What is this madness? I've never seen this before in Doctor Who in my life. And then Jodie crashes in the train. I'm sure there are bits happening between then. Like, Yaz gets calls from a domestic about a woman parking a car.
Yeah.
All that kind of crap. And then Jodie crashes in the train.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence of her kind of establishing her skill set as the Doctor. Quite nice. I will admit the big electrical ball looked kind of goofy.
I think it looked very realistic, though. I think episode 1 has the best CGI in the entire series. I think it's kind of... The CGI was weird this series. It was kind of like they did it episode by episode. So they did the CGI for episode 1. Then they did it for episode 2. Then they did it for episode 3. And then for episode 9 and 10, they kind of ran out of budget. So it looks crap.
Rather than
it looking consistent. I'd rather it look consistent than watch that first episode. I remember watching that first episode and that... I think they call it a gathering coil.
I don't know what it is.
But seeing that, and it looked so good. The visual effects were so good on that. And I was like, this is great. And then for the rest of the series, they were pretty much subpar. Like, you get onto episode 2 and the rags, the remnants, looked a bit crap, I think.
It's when it's not being all electrical and deadly, I think it looks incredibly goofy. But when it does do its thing,
yeah,
I will admit that's just, God, that looks a bit threatening. You wouldn't want to do anything like that, and the only problem is they have to get close to it.
Yeah.
In order to stop it.
Yeah.
Which eventually causes the death of
Grace. For me, episode 1 was my favourite episode of the series, I think. It kind of peaked there for me.
Peaked.
That's entirely subjective. I don't think... I wouldn't say that it's objectively the best episode of the series, but we'll get onto other episodes that I think you would say are better.
Yes.
But for me, I think just in terms of the expectations and how I was feeling going into it, and then how I felt coming out of it the first time I watched it, it made me excited about Doctor Who again in a way that it hadn't done for quite a while, and that's not necessarily a dig at what it's been like in the past few years. Peter Capaldi is my favourite Doctor. I can't really explain that because yes, the effects do look kind of cheap, and yes, the writing is all over the place, but
he does
the stories aren't the best, but it just it felt like kind of how it did in the Tennant era again, and that's not me bumming off the Tennant era. I don't like the 10th Doctor particularly, but we'll get onto that another day. But it felt like a show that the whole family could sit down and then kids could go back the next day at school and be like, oh, did you see Doctor Who? Wasn't it cool?
Did you see that guy covered in teeth?
And it made me, I don't know, it felt special again.
It did, yeah.
And it felt, I was excited about it in the same way I was as a kid, and that to me was just, I loved that episode for that, and I wanted to rewatch it when I wanted to rewatch that today or whenever I could get the chance, because I wanted to be like, well, do I still feel the same way about that episode after seeing the rest of the series? Unfortunately I haven't had a chance to, But it was just. I just thought it was great.
It's a good episode. Good episode.
Probably for me one of the best post-regeneration stories. Bearing in mind we haven't seen any of the classic post-regeneration stories. Supposedly Spearhead from Space is very good. That's John Pertwee's first story.
Okay.
I think Robots All Right, that's Tom Baker's. I mean, the best post-regeneration story is The 11th Hour.
Which one's that one?
The 11th Doctors. It's kind of why it's called The 11th Hour.
Yeah, no, but you're going to have to be a bit more descriptive.
It's the one where with the Atraxi, with the eyeball aliens and the snake thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that. That's good.
But yeah, I thought the one you fell to Earth was pretty good. I thought Jodie came out with a really strong performance in that one.
Oh, she did. She did, definitely.
At times I think I remember being like, maybe she was overacting a little bit, but...
Yeah, I mean, you do kind of get that feel from a couple members of the cast. But you can't blame them. I mean, it is their first time being in the Doctor.
Yeah. And I think everyone has settled into their roles.
Oh, definitely.
More, which is only natural. I mean, I don't know exactly what order the episodes were filmed in. It's unlikely that they were filmed in the order that they were released in. But I'm,
I do get the feeling that
but I think
Who Fell to Earth was one of the earlier.
Yeah. Because I feel like, for example, Tosin Cole, I feel like he definitely got stronger and got more comfortable with the character of Ryan as the series progressed. I think, all the characters came out were pretty good in that episode. Yaz didn't get that much to do, but at that point we didn't know any better, and we thought she was going to get some stuff to do in later episodes. I mean, she didn't, but... But, everyone had something to do. Yeah. I cared about the character of Grace. I was sad when she died.
Oh, definitely.
Which, it's always difficult to do that with a companion that is that important to the rest of the characters who only gets one episode.
I thought that was very brave of them to pretty much set up Grace to be the one eager to travel with the Doctor and then just... I
think maybe I should have seen it coming. I don't think I particularly did.
No.
But it's when you get stuff where she's like, is it bad that I'm enjoying this? Dead meat. You're dead. Although then again, we'll get onto that in Resolution. I have a comment to make about that in Resolution, but that's way at the end. Oh, God.
Okay, right.
It's ages.
Right. Good episode. We liked it.
What did you think of Tim Shaw in episode 1?
Tim Shaw in episode
Strictly 1. Episode 1.
Strictly episode 1, which means his first introduction, stalking around, and then the...
What did you think of him killing the salad bloke? Eat my salad, Halloween.
I'm not gonna lie, his design of character when he had the mask on and everything did look very threatening.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then he just killed the salad bloke for just chucking salad on him. Just go, alright.
I think they tried some cheap tricks to make it be like, look at how evil this thing is. Like that granddad who's like, not every granddad is so lucky to get a call from his granddaughter. What's this? Oh, you're dead now. What's that? I'm going to ice blast your face, rip your jaw open, pull your teeth out.
I was quite intrigued about the teeth. To begin
I was disappointed that, because they meet him the first time when they take out his coil thing on that rooftop.
Yeah.
When he first takes his mask off, and he's like, look at my teeth. And then he teleports away to go find Carl, I think his name is. And then when they meet again on the crane and he takes his thing off, he doesn't have any more teeth in, even though he's killed an old bloke by that point. And I understand that maybe he doesn't kill people and immediately put their teeth in his face, but that was just the impression I got, that he would kill them,
take the teeth,
jam the tooth in his face immediately, rather than have surgery to get it put in.
I mean,
later, just keep it in a little bag.
What? Originally when I thought he was taking the teeth, I didn't think he was taking them as trophies.
What do you think he was taking them as?
I don't know, maybe little things to like sample the human genome or something.
Maybe, but
that's what I was thinking.
I think the trophy thing was...
I think the trophy thing was a callback to Predator.
Well, everyone said that. Everyone said it was basically just Predator. I haven't seen Predator, so I don't know.
Oh, Predator kills people and takes their spine and skull as a trophy.
So yeah, it's just Doctor Who Predator.
It's Doctor Who Predator, but obviously they can't.
You can't always come up with
original things,
original ideas, and for a first episode, I think it's fine. You know,
very good. Okay.
You want to kind of ease people in, so if you do a simple concept that people will be able to understand. I
mean, this concept is this guy proving himself, cheats a lot, kills people.
Yeah.
Very bad.
You know, I thought he was pretty threatening. I thought he was enough of a threatening villain in that first episode.
Definitely, yeah.
But we'll get on to episode 10.
Yeah, we will do.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
Oh, I don't know, probably like a 7. It was good to watch.
I'd say 7 or 8, yeah.
Good to watch.
Well, I'd say probably 8. Maybe 9 on a good day, but I'd say 8. I'll say 8.
Yeah, virgin around the 7, 8-ish thing. Okay.
Right, let me get to episode 2.
Episode of the Ghost Monument.
The Ghost Monument. I'll start this time. Because you started last time.
Okay, you start this
time. Yeah. You can start next time, though. This is how we're going to do it.
Oh, this is how we're going to do it.
This is how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Okay. The Ghost Monument. I think the Ghost Monument, out of all 11 episodes, is the most visually stunning. It is a beautifully shot episode.
Definitely. I will agree with that.
I think that it is good but not great.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it memorable, but I wouldn't call it forgettable.
Definitely.
I like the concept of the space race. I like the characters that you meet. I thought the sniper bots were a bit rubbish, but overall...
They said sniper bots, and I was thinking these guys are too inaccurate to be called sniper bots.
Exactly.
They should have just called them drones.
Yeah. But I think overall I liked it. I'd rewatch it. It wouldn't be that series. It probably wouldn't be the first one I'd go to rewatch. But it was
a good one.
Good, and I think it did a good job of maintaining the momentum from episode 1.
Definitely, yeah. With like the Doctor being, this is our code, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
But being challenged by some of the things that show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the guy who organised the space race, it's a bit brutal.
Yeah. I like the fact that he didn't really care, like at the end, where they were like, dude, we have joint winners. And he was like, alright then. And they were like, and take these guys. And he was like, no. And just left. I just like the fact that it was just a straight up, no.
Why would I do that?
And then they disappear and you never see them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was alright.
It was alright.
What about you?
Alright. I mean, this is the episode with the, what you mentioned last?
Toilet roll creatures.
Toilet roll. God, they look goofy. They look very goofy. I mean...
I think they're a good concept. I just think the execution was a little bit wonky.
I mean, yeah, the concept of, like, wrappings coming to life and trying to suffocate you.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. You won't be able to look at your blanket again. You're just like, don't hurt me, please. But I found that kind of aesthetic of, like, bandages relating to someone's death. It's like, reminds me of I think it was the episode on the train?
Yeah.
With the mummy?
Yeah.
That was
Mummy on the Orient Express.
That one.
Oh, such a great episode.
That was a brilliant episode, and it's just like, oh my god, only you can see this thing coming to kill you.
Yeah.
That's cool. But that was executed shoddily, really.
I think the problem I have is that they're supposedly like scientific experiments, but they're just rags.
How do you scientifically...
Exactly. How do you scientifically
Engineer.
Make rags sentient? If they were just... They just existed, I'd be like, alright, fine. But they're supposed to be like, we scientifically engineered these. And this one was weird. Because it felt like a Stephen Moffat script, not in the sense of the way it was written particularly, but in the sense that felt like it was setting up a series arc with all this it's the Stenza again, and then the moment when they're like, the timeless child. I remember everyone on the internet was like, oh, well, there's our series arc. Great. Because we've been so conditioned to unnoticed series arcs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. The timeless child was just a throwaway comment and it never came up again. And I like that, but it felt like it was setting up an arc for the series. It felt like it was setting up a big bad of the Stenza. And that's not what happened.
Yeah, it didn't happen to the extent that we thought it would.
Yeah.
But
it kind of happened, but it was just Tim Shaw. It wasn't the Stenza as a race. And there's a lot going on about the technology of the Stenza and the knowledge of the Stenza. And it was like, well, yeah, but how did the Stenza create sniper robots who can't aim? Sentient rags.
I think the sniper robots really need to be renamed.
Yeah.
The sniper bots, what kind of gun do they use? It works more like a machine gun.
It's not a sniper. It's not a sniper. No, it's not a sniper. Because it's not like you've got to put your arm in it.
Yeah.
So you can't hold it up here like a sniper.
Yeah. They should call them drones.
Yeah.
It'll be boring.
Or just come up with a fancy name that's not Sniper Bot.
Sniper Bot, too goofy, doesn't quite fit the title. Because there's that little secret server that Ryan's just like, I play video games. And puts his
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I train for this. Never mind the fact I've got a coordination disorder. I'll go out and hit them all straight first time.
Yeah.
And then they won't die, even though in episode 10, when they shoot themselves with their own guns, they will die. Just ignore that. It'd be funny.
You could argue that these are the training ones.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Bullshit.
But they can't hit you, so...
They're literally worse than stormtroopers.
At least in the Star Wars lore, there's an explanation as to why stormtroopers miss.
Yeah, but at least stormtroopers hit some people in Rogue One.
Oh, yeah.
The sniper bots hit no one.
Precisely no.
0 people.
I don't even know why they run away from them. You could just stand still.
Oh no!
The sniper
robots. Why have they got capes as well?
They have capes?
Yeah, they've got cloaks. It's you're not wizards.
I think that's the intimidation factor.
It's not intimidating, it just looks dumb.
No, it's the intimidation
looks like it's supposed to be camouflage. But it's just...
we don't like the sniper bots.
Particularly.
They're a bit dumb.
Yeah, but I think the Ghost Monument, in general...
Pretty good.
Fine.
Yeah,
It wasn't... I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just... It was okay, but it wasn't... It didn't stand out.
I'd probably say it's probably worse than the first one.
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as episode 1.
But that's by no means it's awful.
Out of 10?
Out of 10? Possibly 6, maybe.
I'd say about 6, maybe 7.
Something like that.
Depending
Definitely
on if
lower,
it was
but
not massively low, yeah.
Episode 3, Rosa.
Rosa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what an episode. This was
you don't need this,
good.
I know them all.
I don't. This was a very good episode. I enjoyed it so much. I liked it for more that, okay, we've gone back in time to... I mean, we all knew it was Rosa Parks, because, Ted's Rosa, you go back to the
and the Rosa Parks thing, that was rumoured ages before the series came out, so people pretty much knew that there was going to be a Rosa Parks episode.
And this is the big political episode, really. I mean, and this is the, perhaps, yes, this is Doctor Who getting political, but this is the, how could you
This is Doctor Who you getting... Historically accurate.
Yeah. Because that's the whole point of this episode. Do not change history. Because there's this convict guy, racist, who comes space Nazi, who comes back in time to try...
Nazi, he's just racist.
To try and alter history so that segregation never changes.
Yeah, because he's like, this is the pivotal point where
racism started.
Where racism is really challenged.
I mean, as an idea, that is fairly impressive. And I also like the entire concept. The whole start of it was, okay, these are the facts we know about how this went down.
Yeah.
We've got to make them happen. And I also love the fact that it spends the episode, the Doctor and companions getting close to Rosa Parks, and then in the end, they have to do nothing.
Yeah.
They have to sit on the bus. They have to watch her.
Yeah.
And you just sat there just going, my
Bradley
God.
Walsh in that moment.
Oh.
The people who say Bradley Walsh can't act, you're chatting out your ass. He's to the breast.
And you just watch it and you're just like, no, please don't make them do it. Please don't. Please don't. And then
I think but I think that it had to be like that, didn't it?
The minute they started getting closer, it's just like, okay.
I was seriously worried that it was going to be like the Doctor was going to suggest to Rosa Parks
to stand up,
to stay sat down. I thought when Ryan followed her and they were having a chat like outside after he met like Martin Luther King, I genuinely thought he was going to be like, hey, why don't you make a stand on the bus? But it didn't happen. I respect that. I thought Rosa was probably, I think objectively speaking, it's probably the best episode of the series.
I'm not going to deny that. I think it is objectively the best.
And I did enjoy it.
Immensely.
It's kind of, it's the racism it portrays is kind of brutal.
Brutal. You could say it's a bit.
It's as far as they could go with it being on, BBC One on a primetime slot. They could. The worst word they say is Negro.
Yeah, because they can't say the other one.
Some things can. Some things, like they say it on, for example, Luke Cage. They will say that all the time because it's predominantly black. Yeah. So it's a question, but that's on Netflix and there's the ratings issues and stuff. So obviously they can't say that. But even Negro
is an awful
is
word.
Well, I appreciate the fact that they didn't shy away from it. They didn't sugarcoat it. They didn't do, and they kind of touched upon it with Martha and Bill a little bit, but Ryan's the blackest companion we've ever had. Yeah.
I just like the fact that they just didn't shy away. America was racist. It was awful.
Yeah.
No one questioned.
I think it was weird, not weird, but I think it was kind of odd to call it Rosa because it wasn't particularly about Rosa Parks. It wasn't about Rosa Parks in the same way that an episode like Vincent and the Doctor is about Vincent van Gogh.
Oh, that is completely centred.
Or the Shakespeare Code is about William Shakespeare. It's not about her. You don't really get a sense of her as a character. It's about that event, which, yes, she was a very big part of and she needed to be there to be a part of it. But it's about racism and it's about how society has changed and got better, but it's still not... It still has a long way to go.
What would you prefer, the bus that changed the world?
I know. I thought it was
just more focus on the event than
and that's not a problem at all. But I don't know what I'd call it.
Perhaps the title is the worst part about that.
A lot of people would say that the worst part about that. This is a nice segue actually, because I wanted to talk about this. Is the space racist Krasko? Because a lot of people, their main gripe was that he was a bit. There wasn't enough about him. He was kind of a lame villain. You don't know enough about him to really understand, to really game. I thought Krasko was fine.
I don't think you need to understand
I don't think you need to understand it, and especially when I rewatched it, there was a lot there where I was like, I don't want to know what he did. I can imagine what he did. For me, personally, there was enough there for me to fill in the blanks myself and still get an understanding. And for me, the fact that he's a villain because he's racist and that's it, that's not a bad thing to me. I think that's kind of interesting.
That's the entire driving point of this episode, is racism. And to have your bad guy be a bit more in depth than that, it's just...
you could be like, well, you're just painting racism as it being black and white, which it's I mean,
at that time,
let's not make a black and white joke, but
at that time it was.
It
very
was
black and white.
very much so, and
You're this, we're this, we're better.
And it's not, it's not an issue. It's not as clear cut as that, but I just thought that the villain, the space racist, was a decent villain, personally. But
I didn't want him to be more in depth than he was.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's a space racist.
He's a space racist.
There you go. That'll do. This episode definitely like a 9 out of 10, maybe more.
Yeah, I'd probably say 8 or 9.
It was great.
It was very, very good. Potentially, it could have benefited from being a pure historical, so having no sci-fi aspects other than the Doctor and the TARDIS and that lot.
Yeah, they just go to meet Rosa.
They just go and they end up messing up the bus, that event or something by accident, and then they've got to fix it. It could have benefited from that, but as it stands, that episode was really good.
Very strong.
Very strong. Very strong. Right, next episode 4. Bloody Arachnids in the UK.
Apart from our gripes with the title.
It's me to start this time, isn't it? Arachnids in the UK is one of the strangest episodes of Doctor Who I've ever seen in terms of being able to talk about how I feel about it, because I just don't know. Do I think it's crap? Do I think it's kind of alright? Do I think it's not trying to take itself seriously? And it's just kind of jokey? Do I think it's trying to be a scary episode with the spiders? I don't know. It's mental. I think overall, Arachnids in the UK is fun but flawed.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's a hot mess. It's just a mess of things. But when you watch it, you can't just help and just go.
It's one of those things where you watch it and you're like, this is alright, and then it finishes and you're like, actually, that was kind of crap.
Do you know?
It's either that or the other way around. You're watching it, you're like, this is crap, and then it finishes and you're like, it was alright. I don't know. It's such a jumbled mess. It's like spiders, big spiders, also Trump, also Stormzy.
This reminds me of one thing I heard about the film Pacific Rim, okay? Someone said, this is either the greatest dumb movie ever made or the dumbest great movie ever made. And I feel like this goes perfectly for this episode.
Yeah,
it's either like it's so
I don't
stupid,
think it's
but
bad.
it's good.
I don't think it's admittedly the Trump character.
Oh god, I hate
that was on the nose, and I kind of hope he comes back in some way, maybe in 2020 as president and gets elected president.
Oh, that'd be good. Because they did hint that, didn't they?
Yeah, because he's running for president. I really hope that he comes back, because he does just walk away and they're like, God help us. I think it would be great if he comes back as like an anti-Harriet Jones. And he's the president of the United States.
Oh, and they could do an America episode.
But it was the fact that it was like, I'm running against Trump. I hate Trump, but I also am Trump.
I hate
Isn't Trump bad?
I hate Trump, but Trump is me.
And I don't think there's a problem particularly with making a political statement about Trump. Doctor Who's always been political. Get over it. Entertainment, media is political.
That's how it works.
It just is. But it was on the nose. Oh God. God's sake. The spiders, to be fair, I thought the CGI for the spiders was actually very good.
I thought it was great. The CGI.
It was creepy. When I rewatched it, I wasn't scared because I'm not arachnophobic, but I'm no fan of spiders, and I was the first time. There were some things that not like freaked me out, but kind of made me go, ooh, that's. But
me
watching it again, I didn't get that, and that's to me that's not a bad thing because I would want to watch it again and not.
I'd want to watch it again, but like me liking spiders, I watched documentaries on them and everything and all that.
You're a weirdo.
I am a weirdo, but I'm not an arachnophobe, so I'm just like, I don't care. Shut up.
Fucking oddball.
Right, but And it's just like, because I know about the creepy ones that like the ones that come out of funnels and catch stuff, the ones that throw webs. I'm just like, oh god, imagine them, but if you could get people with them. It's just like, oh god, giant spiders are actually a terrifying concept. But
then, I kind of like the fact that they didn't just kill people. I think the scene in the bathroom where he's webbing the gap and he's getting dragged down, and it's like, that's grisly. I wouldn't want to be.
That is gruesome.
To me, that's worse than just getting killed by the spider, because you've been webbed up by the spider, which is not a pleasant experience, I'm assuming. Then you're getting dragged down by the spider, then you just hang there and die.
Yeah, it takes a while for you to die.
Yeah.
That is... And the fact that you can hear it, I didn't think Doctor Who was going to be that ballsy. But he was screaming.
Yeah, he was...
And it was... You're just watching it and just go, oh my.
Yeah.
This is going to be... And then you do see him later on, but then he's
dead at that point.
He's dead at that point. And you're just like, oh god, I hope it didn't last that long.
What did you think of the scientist lady character?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name. The most pointless character.
Yeah.
I was like, is that Yaz's mum? Oh, no. No. Okay. I think it was just Yaz's mum. They just look a bit... I'm not trying to be racist there, by the way. I'm just saying the two actresses looked somewhat similar. I mean, they didn't really, but... the point I'm making is, she did less than Yaz. That is an achievement.
That is actually quite impressive.
But
I got.
It's like, this is an episode where it's like we get to meet Yaz's family, and she still does nothing, and it's like, Ryan and Graham are still there's nothing.
Sexism. It's sexism, Jonny. No, but it's...
I love the fact that Jodie has a bum bag in this for no reason. I think she just said, I want a bum bag one day, and they just did it, and there's no explanation. She just has it.
I mean, why not?
I suppose.
She's probably got one in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this episode as a whole, which is... I wouldn't have minded them, like, not finding out exactly from that pointless woman this corporation. I wouldn't mind just them doing a little bit of research.
Yeah.
And maybe going to the office and just go, oh Jesus, this is
like if Yaz is at the hotel and encounters a giant spider, and then calls the doctor and is like, help, there's giant fucking spiders, and Graham's like, there's a giant spider in my house, and they go around and they're like, oh, there's a package for next door, and they've not, and the doctor and Ryan go around to next door and break in, and they find the spider, and they find the stuff. You don't need that science woman character just to tell us stuff about spiders.
I also like the fact that there's only really one huge spider.
The mother spider in the ballroom, yeah.
That is big. It's stupid big. And then the rest of them are just like the size of dogs.
Yeah.
Which in itself is terrifying enough. Yeah. It's just like, the one in Graham's attic, he's not monstrously proportioned.
No.
But he's big enough to scare the fucking life out of you.
It's like the size of a...
No, pet.
Yeah.
It's the size of a pet.
Medium-sized dog.
Yeah, and then there's the spider in the room where the webs are everywhere. On the girl. And that again, that's terrifying.
It's a little small one.
That's terrifying. It's not even the big one.
Yeah.
It's frightening. And then when they have like the shake on the grime bit
with Stormzy,
where they have all the spiders going along, it's just like,
yeah,
none of them are insanely huge, but they're all just big enough.
There's the one in the bathtub which is
pretty big.
Possibly a little bit too big.
They are pretty big, some of them. But they have the one big one. And then they had the giant cavern. And I actually said this to my dad who watched the Doctor episode. It was just like, if they don't have one the size of a bus, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah! They went to the giant cavern of toxic waste, for fuck's sake. Why has it got to be toxic waste? please.
But
I didn't like that, but I expected there to be a massive spider, and there wasn't even like any little ones. I thought it was either going to be like a massive one or like just a huge quantity of them, and there was neither. I was like, well, what was this boring, innit?
I wouldn't have been too upset with giant spider, thousands of spiders, or egg sacs everywhere in that cavern. That would have been cool. But the fact they just went toxic waste,
and
that itself is a waste of that cavern. I think that's awful.
What did you think of the Stormzy bit?
I hate grime.
I found it hilarious because I don't really listen to grime that much. I've listened to that song too many times since the episode, though. I'm not gonna lie, I've fallen in love with that song.
I hate grime. I hate grime, and it's just.
I just thought it was wonderfully hilarious. I mean, there have been a number of times this series when I've straight up pissed myself laughing. The Call of Duty moment.
The Call of Duty.
That bloody frog.
Most things. Oh, we'll get
when the Dalek first came out in its new Dalek case in I think it was when she was building it, and I was like, oh my god, it's building itself a case. Is it gonna look atrocious? We'll get onto resolution.
Oh, we'll get onto the frog. Jeez.
That fucking frog. We're almost at an hour. Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. I need to speed this up.
Well, there's just a lot to talk about for this one. I think there's less to talk about with others, so it's fine.
Yes. Sorry.
There you go.
Just this episode was just. Can we give this one an ironic enjoyment?
I mean, maybe. I've no idea what to. What did you think of the bits with Grace? Dealing with oh my god, I can't say Graham.
Just call him Brad.
Just dealing with Brad's grief.
No, dealing with Brad's grief is, I think, just the point when people say Bradley Walsh can't act. You should piss off.
Yeah. I think Bradley Walsh...
actually.
Those bits... I thought those bits were very good. And that bit in the end in the TARDIS where they're all like... You know, when Jodie's like, if you come with me, you won't be the same people when you come back. And he's like, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I like that bit.
I think Bradley Walsh is just...
There's just so much to talk about with this episode. We could have done a whole one on just this.
We could have.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Basically. Trump
Only on episode 4, oh my god.
Trump character on the nose. Giant spiders, terrifying.
Yeah.
Toxic waste cavern, bit of a waste.
Yeah.
Science woman, didn't need her. Yaz again does nothing. Brad is his best. And it's just... It's
out of 10, I don't know.
4, but I'll watch it again.
I think I'll probably give it a 6, because I don't think it's bad. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. I still don't know how I feel. I do think it's good.
Watch it.
It's just weird. It's just the weirdest. I don't know.
Watch it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that one. Anyway, episode 5, the Tsuranga Conundrum.
Is this one mine?
This is one you to start.
I fucking love the pitting.
That's all you really need to say.
Oh my god. Right, first off, they're on the medical vessel. Interesting.
Right.
Something hits the medical vessel. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a pating. 10 out of 10, best episode I've done.
The Tsuranga Conundrum was the first episode of this series where I watched it and didn't like it. I don't know, because I have such a bias to Doctor Who, and whenever I don't like it the first time I watch it, I don't know how to feel. I don't know. I'm just like, it was okay, I think. I don't know.
You're just broken.
Jonny.exe has stopped working.
You need to restart.
Yeah. But
oh my god.
I just thought it was boring. I kind of was paying attention but managed to lose track of what the hell was going on. There was a lot of talking. None of the characters were interesting. This is why it's important to rewatch it, because when I rewatched it, I enjoyed it a lot more. And I think it was possibly because I knew where it was going.
Yeah.
I think what happened when I first watched it, they kill off the bloke, I think his name is Astos.
The more experienced.
And then the Pating shows up, and then the Pating just wants to eat, power sources. Then they eject it, and then they fly the ship safely. And I don't know, it just the way it ended up going wasn't what I was expecting, and I don't know what I was expecting. But when I rewatched it, when I knew what was going to happen, I enjoyed it a lot more, and I thought it was fun. It didn't take itself too seriously. I don't think it was particularly one of the best episodes, but it was fine.
Is the main issue you had on first watching direction? It didn't appear to have that much of it.
I can't possibly, yeah. There just seemed to be a lot of talking, and there is a lot of talking. It feels like they try to make this set look really, wow, look at this cool set, but ultimately it's just like a couple of rooms and a corridor.
Yeah.
And it's the most try-hard, like, this is what alien spaceship is in future looks like, white and clean.
I mean, I guess that makes a bit more sense considering it's a hospital.
Yeah, it's a hospital, but, I mean, there were just little things like, what the hell were they doing on that planet in the first, it was like, oh, why are we here? Don't forget who took you to the space beach or whatever, and then they just get hit by a mine, and it's like, well, why were they there? What were they looking? Oh, okay, never mind then. It doesn't matter.
The mines were not a potential thought you had.
Who put that sonic mine there? I mean, I don't massively care. I don't want an episode where it was like, I put the sonic mine on the trash planet that made you go to the Tsuranga vessel. I don't care, but also it's just, well, yeah, how did the Pating get there in the first place? It had to have had momentum.
Do you want to know what I think?
What do you think?
I think it got ejected from another spaceship.
And just went straight to that one.
I want that to be this creature's life cycle. Every time it gets ejected from one spaceship, it just somehow ends up in the path of another.
The Pating, it feels like Chris Chibnall had an idea of what he wanted it to be, and he was like, okay, it's a little Lilo and Stitch creature that eats power sources,
but it look like a baby.
But they've got to make, it's got to be intimidating to I faced a Pating one. It killed all my crew. It killed an entire army. How? It doesn't go for people. It's got like poisonous skin or whatever, but did everyone just go up to pet it or something?
Oh, look at you.
It doesn't eat people. It doesn't want to kill people. It just wants power. So how did it kill an entire army of people?
I mean, you could say, it just drained the power source from the ships. Well, then, if it did that, you could say it destroyed an entire fleet.
Yeah, it's just...
Saying it killed people made it...
I mean, I don't know exactly the word she said, but it came across to me, I interpret it as it killed an entire army of people, and it's like, yes, but how?
Why?
I thought the CGI for the Pating was pretty good, to be fair. Some stuff was good, some stuff wasn't. In terms of the CGI, it was... I don't know.
No, I fucking love the Pating.
But I know you do. You want more Pating, don't you?
I want a Pating.
Genesis of the Patings in Series 12, please.
Oh my! Imagine finding out the background of the Pating.
It was genetically engineered by the Stenza.
Imagine.
That's the kind of bullshit they pull, isn't it?
Wait, imagine if the Pating only goes away from the Stenza because they're really cold and they don't have energy.
Maybe it was ejected from the Stenza ship.
Yes.
That's how it got there.
Yes. Wait.
Come on, Chibnall, we're free whenever if you want to hire us. We'll write it for you.
Imagine if the Pating tries to go after them coil things. Imagine if that's what...
I think we should move on from
Imagine if that's what he's going for.
What did you think of the pregnant man, Paul?
He's in Called the Midwife on the Christmas special.
Oh, we did talk about this, didn't we?
He's in Called the Midwife. That's the only thing I can think of now. Just like, because he's pregnant and panicking, and I also like the idea that this was a race that was just like. I think
it was like a subset of human. Oh no, I don't think it was a human. I think it was just an alien.
That was a bit more like him. But like, the fact that it's just like, oh yeah, males give birth to males, females give birth to females, it's just like...
I mean, logically that makes sense.
It's just like, this is interesting. But then it comes to the point where it's, I was drunk.
Yeah, it was just...
Okay, you're an alien species.
One night stand.
You're an alien species where pregnancy goes both ways and you haven't heard of contraception. Whatever.
Maybe they don't have contraception, but then again, you should have been more careful. What did
drunk?
I thought some of the supporting cast were a bit pointless. Like, what was the point of Doc Brown in this episode? He felt a bit half-assed. What was the point of the android bloke in this episode? Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair...
I felt like there was one or two too many supporting cast members.
With him being an android, I thought they were going to send him out to face the Pating.
Yeah. Because... And then they didn't. He just stood around with I Do Nothing Girl and did nothing.
The bit I didn't like about it is just like, okay, they stunned the Pating. Who are they going to send to get rid of it? Yes. She picked it up, didn't she?
Yeah, with it in a blanket and then kicked it.
Yeah. Why not send the android bloke?
Because...
Who can just pick it up?
Because it supposedly it could then also eat him, but it was stunned. And also if you wrap it up in the blanket, it's got to untangle itself. But...
Just send the bloke, the android bloke, and seal yourself in a room, open the airlock, the android bloke kicks it out.
I didn't like in this episode the bit where the Patings attack and they're trying to sort out, and then Ryan and Yaz just have a conversation about Ryan's dad.
Yeah, that does seem
in
bad.
A corridor.
I mean, this whole thing, I love the Pating. That's it.
Out of 10?
6.
Yeah, I'd say about 5 or 6.
It's not great, but it's not awful.
It's fine.
It's just fine.
But I think, the fact that I didn't enjoy it the first time, means... And I did enjoy it a lot more the second time, but...
I loved it.
It was fine.
I loved it first. Because of the Pating.
Episode 6, which is Demons of the Punjab. Yeah, it's me to go first.
I can't remember a bloody thing about
Demons of the Punjab.
This is going to be all you.
This was the India one, the partition one.
About Yaz's grandma.
Yeah, it's literally an episode about Yaz's family history, and she's still not the most interesting character. That's a testament to how poor that character is. I don't mind Yaz, but she needs to do something. I think Chibnall's done a bit of a hint about in series 12 she'll get more of an arc. They'll do more with it, which I reckon will probably be because some of the feedback they've got from this series is that Yaz got piss all to do.
Just please make Yaz do something.
Die. I don't.
No, because
it would be more effective if Graham died. I don't want him to.
Yaz and Ryan need to get together.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No. Yaz and the Doctor is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Demons of the Punjab. Getting back to the actual episode. This was a lot of people's favourite episode of the series. People really like this one. I did not.
I can't remember it. So.
I found Demons of the Punjab to be dull, boring, not particularly interesting, and that's all subjective. I think it's subjectively bad rather than objectively bad, and a lot of people really like this one, and that's great. But I didn't. I think it's important to teach kids about the partition of India. I didn't know about the partition of India. I appreciate it for doing something like that. I just didn't really care for it, and I think this was the episode that properly broke me in terms of the lack of monsters. We had Tim Shaw in the first episode. Oh, alright. The second episode we had robots and toilet roll. Okay, not really though. The third episode we had a racist. Nice. The fourth episode we had spiders, but they're not evil. They're just big.
They're just spiders.
They're just big, but they're not evil. They're just big. So they're just acting like how normal spiders would. They're not trying to kill people.
Just on a big scale.
Episode 5 we had the Pating, which wasn't really. And I just wanted to a race of aliens that were evil, that were monsters, proper monsters, and it looked like we were gonna get that, and then. We respect the dead and we're here to mourn those who no one else mourns. That's not good, no. And I just didn't I didn't really care for it, and when I rewatched it, it didn't particularly hold my attention that much. I just didn't really like this one, unfortunately.
I can't remember a bloody thing about it, so...
You seriously don't remember anything?
No.
I like the use of the tabla in the music. We'll get onto music a little bit later on. Just, what do you think of the redone version of the theme tune at the end?
I can't remember a single thing about this episode.
Hang on. Well, you'll have to do it.
I just genuinely just cannot remember. Did they redo the Doctor Who theme for the end of this episode?
Yeah.
Why do you say it?
I didn't. I'm not trying to use.
Do you want me to Google it?
Yeah, I'll Google it. I'll Google it. No, just get. Stop.
Okay. Sorry.
Stop. Talk, Paul. I don't
talk. I don't remember a single thing about Demons of the Punjab, so therefore I'm not really the best to talk about it because it's just a bit forgettable.
Yeah, I appreciate that some people really like this one. It was their favourite one, but it just wasn't for me. Unfortunately.
This is not our bias against India, it's just...
Yeah, we don't hate this.
Oh.
Which played over the end credits. I thought it was the best thing about the episode.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
What do you think of the pop music being used at the end credits of Rosa?
What was the music in that?
It was the Rise Up song. I'm not going to sing it.
I just feel like everything about Rosa was pretty good.
Okay.
What
would you give Demons of the Punjab out of 5?
Purely because of the fact that
out of 10.
Purely because of the fact I can't remember it. Like just something less than 5.
I'd say probably a 5. I just didn't like it. We just had to deal with a thing. We just experienced some. Well, let's call it technical difficulties. You don't need to know the details of that, but just generally. Summarising Demons of the Punjab.
Forgettable because I can't remember it.
Yeah. Right, anyway, next episode 7. Kerblam!
Wham bam, thanks, Kerblam.
I knew you were going to do that.
I annoyed him for a solid week about this.
You did it on this, I think.
Did I? Wham bam, thanks, Kerblam.
Maybe you didn't.
Wham bam, thanks, Kerblam. What an episode. It's got Lee Mack in it.
It's a start, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got Lee Mack
Not enough Lee Mack, 0 out of 10. Moving on.
No, he died. He died and I was just like, no!
Oh, no!
But the malicious intent of the robots in this episode are just like, alright, okay, it's weird. But I found the giant postal service enterprise thing that everyone wants to be a part of and gets presents from.
Kerblam?
Kerblam. Wham bam, thank
Kerblam. I'm going to throw something at you in a minute.
It was rather fun, and then the Kerblam is also a reference to the thing that happens at the end when they find out.
It's not a reference to the fact that there's an explosion.
It's a big explosion. It's a very big explosion.
Okay,
it's just, it was weird. I think the more you found out about who was doing it, and what happened in order for him to have his mind changed towards the end of it with that the girl that gets kidnapped and all this random crap. It's just like, okay.
What's her name?
Kira.
That one. Say Kira Arlo.
It's rather peculiar. What do you think of this episode?
Kerblam was one of my favourites this series. I just thought it had a great mystery. It had a great twist in the mystery that it was not someone there. It was the system itself that was crying for help.
Yeah, that was good.
Again, it doesn't have like an alien monster threat, but I didn't mind it because it had a villain and it was a good story. It wasn't like Demons of the Punjab where it was very historically based in I didn't think you need the aliens. I think Demons of the Punjab would have been better if it was a pure historical. But this one, I really liked it. I'll tell you what I really liked. I really liked the voice of Kerblam. It's kind of like a fake happiness, especially, and it's kind of menacing. Like in the bits where you've got Yaz and Lee Mack talking, and they're like, "Great conversation, guys."
Oh, you mean kind of like the...
Please refrain from social conversation.
Social interaction.
In the work, yeah. It's like Kira Arlo.
That's an intimidating voice.
Because it's friendly and it's happy, but when it's said like that, it's like, it's because it's, yeah.
It's fake. It's very, very fake.
But
and
it's,
you're just like, oh god.
Apart from them when the system is revealed to be good, it's not fake. It's, like when they get Twirly, the old droid, the first Kerblam thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, the future is very confusing to my protocols, or whatever.
Love that.
And it's just cute. And it's the same voice. It's such a diverse voice, whilst also being kind of monotone, but not in a flat, dull way.
Yeah, there's no like tonal shifts from being sad or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this is his voice, but this time, because it's Twirly, he's actually happy.
Yeah.
I loved it. I wanted a little pet robot Twirly.
What did you think of, Bugger Off K9? What did you think of the...
Oh my god, K9 meets Twirly.
K9 meets Twirly.
Can you... K9 meets...
Get on that, CBBC.
K9 meets Twirly and they've got to fight the Pating.
They've got to fight the Special guest appearance from
the Gathering Coil.
The Solitract Frog.
the Coil.
That's what it's the Pating. But it's like wrapped in the coil.
Yeah.
Like a little hamster wheel.
Yes.
And it's travelling around in that.
Yes. Yes, gets on that kid up. Okay.
What did you think of the conveyor belt sequence when Ryan and Yaz go and do the
The one thing that I can't comprehend on the conveyor belt sequence is just the parcels that get destroyed. The humans are getting tossed around like flies, and then this is meant to carry parcels, most of which could be valuable. What the fuck? That's one issue I had with the conveyor belt sequence, and then like the fact that when
I think it was a bit overambitious, wasn't it?
When it comes down to it, it's just like, oh, hang on a minute, Ryan's got this coordination problem, but he can jump from conveyor belt to conveyor belt.
It was the fact that he was like, Kira's gonna die, we're gonna get there, we don't know how much time she's got. And then he stood outside like the vent shaft for ages. He's like, yeah, we're great, we go as a team. And then like gets ready and he's like, should I mention I've got a coordination disorder? It's not anything major. He's like, just jump down the fucking thing, mate, no one cares. And then they're on the thing, he's like, I can't jump down there, I've got a coordination disorder. Here, I'll put my hand in front of my eyes so you can see.
It's just his coordination disorder. It's very convenient, isn't it?
Yeah, it appears in episodes where it's important, like episode 1, 2, this one. And then, not mentioned in others. It's like, oh, okay.
Alright, fine. Do what you will. I think it's fun. Just more Lee Mack, please.
Yeah. You got the short end of the stick. But I think the other guest stars were Julie Hesmond, or however you say it.
Okay.
She was good.
Was she the
she was the woman. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was good. Good character, because she was just like trying to make sure everything was
okay. Yeah.
That was genuinely good intentions.
Yeah.
I like it how it was just like this. It's perceived to be kind of malicious, but then you realise it's just one dude.
Yeah.
Being awful.
I love the design of the Kerblam man.
That's what you'd think.
Like that face.
Intergalactic delivery system.
It's so good. Yeah, it was just a really great Doctor Who-y...
Yeah. It's a Doctor Who episode about the intergalactic post service.
Post.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
No, it's intergalactic Amazon. That's it.
Yeah, it's
intergalactic Amazon, and it's fun.
Yeah. Out of 10?
8.
I'd say 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good episode.
The next then we move on to episode 8, The Witchfinders. You don't remember this one either, do you?
I do remember this one.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I do.
I rewatched The Witchfinders yesterday.
Mm.
And I think out of all the episodes, this was the one I was most curious to go. Well, because for like the first half of the series, I was watching them pretty much within the week after they'd aired. I don't think I quite managed it with Arachnids, but the Witchfinders I only managed to watch again yesterday. So Wednesday. And I enjoyed it. And I think if you'd asked me, it's weird, because if you had asked me a week ago, out of all the episodes in Series 11, which ones do you reckon which three, let's say, do you reckon you'd go back to and rewatch first? I wouldn't have said The Witchfinders. Maybe I wouldn't now, but I'd be more likely to now than I would then. Because I just thought it was a really great... it really utilised the fact that the Doctor was a woman. Well, like, if you're going to make the Doctor a woman, you've got to do an episode about witch trials and make the Doctor be trialed as a witch.
I think this is either going to happen this series or next series. Something to do with witch trials.
Yeah.
It had to happen.
It had to happen eventually.
It had to happen. They travel through time. She's a woman.
Yeah, I mean...
It's got to go wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good episode.
I wasn't sure about Alan Cummings as King James the first time.
The King James character I'm a bit off with.
I liked him more the second time though.
I found him to be just... Where's your royal entourage, mate? Why aren't you in London, idiot? Why are you out in Pendle?
Because it's the largest witch hunt in the UK, and he's heard about it, and he's witch hunt extraordinaire or whatever. Satan's greatest foe.
Yeah. I just love the fact that he's gay. He's gay.
I think he's bisexual.
He's gay.
Yeah, but there's historical evidence to suggest that he swung both ways, I think.
My Nubian prince. Oh god, that was great. It was very fun. Pretty much every scene with him.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do the right thing, but then he was just...
But he was also...
Witchfinder extraordinary.
He's like, let's kill every woman who may be a witch.
Yes.
Every woman is witch. Murder them all. Yeah. I don't know what that voice was.
Ended up being Trump, man. But it was fun.
No, that would have been Build a Wall.
No, it was very fun. I also like the fact that they did a proper alien race on this one.
Yes!
That's what this series is missing.
And the mud creatures, okay.
The mud creatures was an interesting...
I mean, that's another moment when I burst out laughing. Pendle Hill's a prison.
If you've walked at that bloody thing, you know it's a prison. Because I've just been like, oh my god, Pendle Hill's a prison, and I was sat there with my dad and just went, we've been up that, haven't we? Just went, yeah, you almost hated it. And we were on top of Pendle Hill and just went, no, nothing. It's not that cool. It's really not that cool.
I mean, it's just a hill. Not even a mountain. It's just a hill.
It's a hill. It's a pain in the arse to walk up, but it's a hill. The sort of the mud zombies.
Yeah, I thought when they first came, so not the main mud zombie woman, when she was like taken over and became the main villain, but I think like the mud corpses looked really creepy.
Oh, it's frightening.
They were, on the edge.
Yeah.
That would have scared me as a child.
Yeah. I mean, I think the giant mud tendrils...
I thought that at the ends, the giant mud tendril would have been fine if it didn't have a fucking face.
I'm more on about the ones in the middle. Like, towards the beginning of the episode, with the big mud tendril. Or the mud tendrils that try and grab the girl.
Yeah.
Like they were quite cool. And then the mud zombies. And I was just like, okay, that's a bit terrifying. And then the main woman getting taken over, and she basically cries mud. And you go, oh god, imagine figuring that out. That's awful. And then just the giant mud tendril that comes out of the tree and has a face.
That's silly.
That's goofy.
I expected better from this era of Doctor Who. Maybe in the Capaldi era.
I mean, but it was either that or something that looks like Clayface.
Yeah, but I just didn't think it needed a face. I liked the fact that when Becca Savage, I think her name is. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. I know my shit, guys. Trust me.
I'm a Doctor Who nurse.
I like that when she got taken over by the Morax, by the mud monsters. Like her skin was moving and bubbling. That was weird.
Oh, that's how you'd think a mud monster would work.
Yeah.
It's just like it thinks everything now is mud, and it's just like, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's awful but brilliant. I love it. I also love the characters' interactions with King James and we're Witchfinders, definitely, yeah. It was so good. And then the Doctor escaping the witch trials.
Because of fucking Houdini. Can we just stop with the Houdini references, please?
Houdini.
It's a very wet weekend with Houdini. Oh, for fuck's sake. If you look on the wiki page, like there's so many, like I'm pretty sure like literally every single Doctor has at one point met Houdini. It's a joke.
Whatever. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not too bothered about them. Like, the Doctor, she can escape change.
Oh, yeah, I don't...
Sure, why
not? Whatever.
Okay.
Episode 9.
Are we not going to rank this episode?
Oh, sorry. Out of 10, what would you give the Witchfinders?
Probably like a 7. It's a good episode.
Yeah, I'd say 7's fair.
Certainly a good episode.
Episode 9.
It takes you away.
It takes you away.
Whoa.
It takes you away. That's my best Norwegian accent.
It could use some work.
Thanks, Paul.
This was a very peculiar episode, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because they're in Norway. The Doctor would taste something to figure out.
Grass, I think it is.
That's it. She tastes something.
Norway, we're definitely Norway. Oh, look, an evil sheep. To be fair, when that happened, she was like, probably part of the Woolly Rebellion. The sheep rebel. And that was not a good start.
No, it was a bit peculiar. But the fact that they go to the shack and so boarded up and you're just like, demon in the woods. And then they go in and there's a blind girl and it's just like, attacked by the demon in the woods? Where's my dad?
Did you think that she was attacked?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. She was blind and just like, okay, this has got something to do with some kind of creature.
I just thought she was blind.
And her dad's gone and I was just like...
Okay. This is when we first watched it, obviously.
Yeah. So we very little known about it. And then they find the mirror and then they go to this other dimension type thing.
The anti-zone.
Yeah, the sort of world between worlds.
Yeah.
That was strange. That was strange. The dude that was in it...
Ribbons.
Yeah. Or the one who just eats rats. Or whatever he does. It's a very rat-like creature and he's got like this glowing balloon that distracts the man-eating moths in the giant chasms that he's in. He's all really weird. He's got a knife. Oh, he's got a second knife. Watch out for him. And then they go into the alternate dimension type thing. And it's really intriguing, and you can understand why the bloke was there, because he missed his wife. And this was the other episode where Bradders Walsh deals with grief, and is a great actor.
It Takes You Away is, for me, one of the most batshit crazy episodes.
I didn't say anything about the ending.
We'll get to that. Don't worry. Oh God. I don't know. I like the fact that it was like there's a monster in the woods and there wasn't, and it was very interesting in when I don't think I liked it as much when I rewatched it as opposed to when I first watched it and then kind of thought about it a couple of days after when I first watched it. Because I watched it and I was like, okay, thought about it and I was like, that was mental. I think I loved it. Watched it again, and because I knew how mental it was going to be, I really just like how simple the fact that they can be like, what's that? They're in an alternate dimension. Flipped. Bosh. Done. And you can tell from just like Jodie's hairline and stuff. It's very simple, but it works. And the fact that it's through the mirror
makes sense. Does make sense. It was. I also like that they tricked on that something was wrong with the mirror when there was no shadow. Well, no reflection, sorry.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, you vampire on me, I'm not vampire.
How did the dad get through the mirror, through the anti-zone, and into the other side, though?
He's a Viking.
He's not a Viking.
He's a Viking.
He's from Norway.
He's a Viking.
No.
He's a Viking.
No,
that's my explanation
he's
for it.
He's not a Viking.
That's my explanation.
He's not a Viking.
Yeah, he is.
Just because he's from Norway?
Yeah.
Not everyone in Norway is a Viking.
Yes, they are. Everyone in Norway is a Viking. Do you want to know what happened? That dude who's in the rat fella, who had two... I just call him the rat fella. I can't remember his name.
His name's Ribbons.
Okay, he's called Ribbons. The rat dude.
Ratman.
Who had knives. He was just like, I'm gonna kill this dude, and walks in and he's got a big fucking axe. He's a Viking. He don't care. So, that's it. He's a Viking, goes to the realm, sees his wife, and just like, okay, I'm gonna travel back now, and make sure my daughter doesn't leave, so she's not getting frightened and blind in the forest. And
She's already blind.
Yeah, whatever.
I love the fact, like, why have you got bear traps? And he's like, because there are bears. It's just a massive red herring here. It's like, there's animal traps, there must be a monster. There's just bears.
This is Norway, they're
bears.
Just, why would I not have bear traps? To stop bears coming in attacking my family. And then they all do the travelling to the... And
Solid tracked world.
Solid tracked world, that was it. And it's just the fact that the solid tracked world begins to sort of collapse.
The more people it gets.
The more things from the real world come into it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, that really hammers home the solid tracked and the universe not existing together.
Yeah.
They can't do it. But the solid track doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no, keep coming, bring more, bring friends.
I would have appreciated if there was a line or just something in episode 1 about Grace liking frogs.
Because this is just out of nowhere. Her liking frogs.
What do you think of the blind girl? I'm avoiding it for as long as possible. I'm really intrigued as to how she learned her lines. Did she learn them through, like, text-to-speech? Did she learn them in Braille?
Braille.
Because she is blind.
Braille.
I think it's great to have her blind. It's like how the deaf character in in Under the Lake Before the Flood, the Peter Capaldi one with ghosts, is that actress was deaf. So they've done the same here. They've got a blind actor playing a blind person, and I thought she was pretty good.
I mean, she got learn lines from just like hearing them.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, like, it's more the fact that they could get her to act in a pretty decent way.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
She was very good.
And
I think that's the sort of thing that it's a bit more dedication to the character, really.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of things have, this person's blind, but they don't get a blind person to play them, so it's just very general. They still turn to where people are.
Unless they're Charlie Cox.
Who nearly blinded himself, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But
Netflix is Daredevil.
Yeah, but that's...
He proper got into that. That's method acting.
Yeah, he was really... And it shows. He's really good. But I just think it's great having a blind actress. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid it, are we?
No, because towards the end,
what do you think of that bloody frog?
All the characters leave the solid tracked universe, and then the Doctor stays. And the solid track, for some reason,
turns into a frog.
Decides to go into a pure white dimension with a chair and a frog. Now, this frog is atrocious. It's an absolute... It's appalling, okay? Shrek did a better frog.
I loved it.
I hated it.
Because as soon as she went into that white dimension, I remembered the bit from the trailer where she blows a kiss. It was in the trailer. When she's leaving, she blows a kiss. And I was like, oh my god. Is it going to be someone we know? Is it going to be like Susan or anything? And it was like the anticipation. I was like, oh my god, are they actually going to do... And then it was a frog on a chair. And I loved it.
The frog talk.
I don't know whether I love the fact that the mouth didn't match up to the voice at all. I don't know whether I loved that or hated it.
I hate it. I hate the frog so much.
It was incredible, and this is the kind of insanity I want from Doctor Who.
No, I like
Genesis of the Solitract frog next year, please.
No, I like...
Patinku.
I like... Oh god, the Solitract frog. All of the characters go into the Solitracts.
Maybe the Solitract should have just been... It should have, instead of a frog, it should have turned into the Patink.
Yes, okay, I'll take that. But jeez, I like insanity in my Doctor Who. I love stuff that's crazy. But for the love of God, put a bit more effort into the frog.
It wasn't like CGI, it was an animatronic frog. They clearly did put effort in, I think. I thought it was...
Mouth.
It yeeted her away, Paul. You ever seen a frog do that? No.
Yeet. I think I was really tempted when watching it, just at the minute when they put their hands up to post them back, I was just going to go yeet, and my dad was just going to look at me, but I restrained myself.
7 out of 10. Let's move on.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
7 out of 10. Just the frog just ruined it.
Episode 10. The Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos.
We can made it clear about the title.
Yeah, this is me to start it. This one is
go on.
I watched this one yesterday. Rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind it. As a finale, I understand why a lot of people thought it was underwhelming and boring.
Well, yeah.
I do think that Tim Shaw was enough of a presence in episode 1 to come back as a returning villain. Maybe not necessarily in the finale though. I think if he'd come back maybe midway through next series.
Yeah, that would be good.
You know, I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was bad. It could have been... I think we just expect big, epic, bombastic finales, and that wasn't what this was, and that's not a problem at all, but I just...
Can't help but be a little disappointed. What did you think about the introduction of the... Is it the Orcs? What did you think of them?
They're just Jedi.
They are just Jedi, aren't they?
They've even got the bloody rule of 2.
Yeah, which is the Sith thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It is. They're Doctor Who Jedi.
Doctor Who Jedi.
They are Doctor Who Jedi. It's very, very... It's baffling how they fall for Tim Shaw being their god.
Yeah.
How?
Also, I didn't realise that the Stenza they just live for 3,000 years. It was like, he's been there for like 3,000 years and doesn't look any different. Like, even the teeth don't look different. Like, is there something in his face that keeps him looking fresh?
He's nice and cold and preserved. They are chilled to perfection. That's the thing. That was never made abundantly clear that the Stenza live for bloody ages.
Yeah, I know. But they do.
But I think we pretty much take that for granted in the Doctor Who series.
I suppose, but also, why should we?
Yeah. Everything that's not human has a quite.
This was kind of disappointing in the fact that they were like, the planet was just a quarry, and it felt like they'd run out of budget. I think the effects didn't look that great. They filmed the first part of it in a quarry and the second part of it in a factory, and that was it.
There are some very underused elements in this one. First off, the planet itself has the mood-changing thing, doesn't it? It's got very violent mood swings, but they have the thing to counteract them.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But there are other characters that do not have this control chip type thing. Namely, Mr. Robert Baratheon himself. The captain of the ship.
Paltraki.
Yeah, Paltraki. He's Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones.
Well, I know him from The Full Monty.
Oh yeah, The Full Monty. That's a good film.
Yeah.
Because do you know what happens in that? The actor who plays King Robert Baratheon, Paltraki, and an actor who's played Hitler.
Yep. Get the kit off!
Yeah. That is such a good film. Anyway, it's...
No homo.
No homo, definitely. But it's rather peculiar because there are some... They're a bit wasted. I mean, they don't lean into the fact that this planet alters you enough. Because... doesn't someone take the
Doctor and Yaz
take
off their things, put them on the Ux to stop them from taking Earth. Then I didn't realise this the first time I watched it. They then take them back because they only put them on to stop them.
Yeah,
because they're not affected by the planet
because
waves.
they're ultimate mind power people.
Yeah, and I think they're from that planet anyway. So they take them back. I didn't realise. But it's weird because it's like they take them off and Yaz is then like, like she's got a headache. Then puts it back on and then she's in the TARDIS and she's like, like she's still suffering from it. That's what confused me the first time.
I don't think it's enough of a change. I'd like to see the Doctor just go off the rails a bit when she took hers off. But it's odd. The fact that Tim Shaw comes back, it's alright. I mean, it would have been better if he came back later, and the fact that his revenge on the Earth was a bit more explained or whatever. Perhaps more.
Why did he wait 3,000 years and collect 5 other planets and then go, you know what? I think I'll get Earth. Why would you not go for Earth first? Did you know that the Doctor was just gonna show up?
That does seem a bit illogical, but then again, we are applying it to the series. Man, he's got to have like Earth on it or something. When that's got to be the one that the Doctor interacts with, just like
but why would that
my protection?
Anyway, the point is,
I'd say this one's a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good yesterday, but on reflection,
could have been more.
Could have been more.
Could have been a lot more. It's
6 out of 10 probably.
Something like that.
6, maybe 7. But
7
I think I think I'd say 6.
It could have been. It could have quite easily been one of the better episodes of them. It could have been like an 8 if they did some stuff differently, like lean more heavily.
It could have been. I think if you did save an episode like this till like midway through the next series,
it would have been good.
It would have been better because you don't have the expectation of a finale, and I think you could have done something a little bit different as a finale. I think an episode like the finale would be better suited to having an episode like
what?
Resolution.
Oh,
it's a segue.
It's a
I'm
segue.
segueing.
Oh yes. Oh God, I'm not prepared for this kind of.
We're done talking about the finale, aren't we?
Okay.
Pretty much. We thought it was.
It was alright.
Alright.
Alright. Resolution
of the Daleks.
Oh, okay. Oh God, the Daleks are back.
But our Dalek is back. It's just the one.
You think this is going to end here?
But no. But
no, it's just the marketing leading up to this one.
Why do they have to ruin it?
Does it have a name? Doctor Who.
I mean, everyone knows that it is a Dalek. Right? Everyone and their dad.
Yeah.
Everyone and their dad's dog. Everyone and their dog's dad knows that it's a Dalek.
Yeah, it's really annoying because I wouldn't have minded it being a Dalek if it was revealed on the day.
Yeah.
But I remember...
And maybe they did that, I think, because people would have guessed it was a Dalek from just the creature. And then the fact that in the episode, it was like, she's like, this is the DNA of the most dangerous creature on the planet. And Graham goes, has it got a name? And then it's so underwhelming. Johnny's like, a Dalek.
No, I find the bit that's really annoying is that they could have delivered that line with a bit more weight.
Yeah.
And also...
It was alright.
Also, the little kind of teaser trailer, it changed leading up to the episode. It changed the point. Has it got a name? Doctor Who. Exterminator. And you just go, oh, for the love of God, do you not know how to build suspense for an episode? Don't ruin the main surprise. Well, it's not really a surprise, but don't ruin the surprise.
Like, I know you want to get people to watch it, but overnight figures aren't everything. If people, as soon as that goes out, the fact that it's a Dalek, it's an open secret, you know, like no
it's
one...
Just...
It was an open secret anyway, but people would know and they might go and watch it on Nightclare.
It's just
you know.
mental. Oh, it's weird.
Ultimately, though, I really enjoyed Resolution.
I did as well.
Rewatched it today. That Dalek design is growing on me.
Oh, the
and I
scrap
think,
metal Dalek.
yeah, and I think because it is a one-off, I'm fine with it. I think when she started making the Dalek, I was envisioning something different to what it was.
I was envisioning something quite a bit different to what it ended up as.
The thing that irritated me the most was that the middle section was very thin, and then the base of it was very wide, and it was like a really flat. It sloped, and like the top of it was like quite a large surface area, and then the middle bit just kind of sat in the middle.
Mm.
And there was space, and the proportions of it didn't quite. I think they were a little bit too off.
Well, what I didn't quite like about this design of the Dalek was the fact that this one was called the Recon Dalek.
Yeah, the reconnaissance, yeah.
Yeah, and it was meant to be better in pretty much every conceivable way.
Mm.
Smarter, faster, more deadly.
Got beat by some blokes with swords.
And
a bonfire?
I found that quite interesting. The fact that it was all these humans attacking it.
Listen, if I could make a Dalek Guy Fawkes pun, I would, but I can't.
The thing that's implied in the episode is that the guys with swords and everything fought the Dalek when it had the armour. Yeah.
And they show the picture. I paused it actually when they look at the picture in the book to see how the Dalek was defeated. It's a bronze Dalek. It's the Dalek we've had since 2005. That design, unquestionably so. So
how the hell did they beat that?
Who fucking knows?
But it's just like, okay, they beat the Dalek. However, that's happened. One presumes that it was just a stupid quantity of people.
I think it was purely numbers, and they managed to get the bonfire. I don't know.
It was odd. It was odd. They beat the Dalek. They cut it up. They put it in different parts of the world.
Yeah, I think they imply that they got they melted the actual casing, got the creature out, and like cut the creature into three pieces, and then the creature, the actual like Dalek mutant itself, reconnected itself. Rather than like, it's not the casing, is it, that they cut up?
No,
it's the different parts.
The casing's just like destroyed.
Yeah.
They break apart the casing to get to the being inside, and then they chop it into 3 pieces and send them to different parts of the world. One to Sheffield, one to an island in the South Pacific, and one to Siberia.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite cool. It was very sort of like a Templar type thing.
Yeah.
Like the Order of the... What's it called?
I want to say Covenant. It's not Covenant.
Yeah, whatever. It's that order that protects them, the descendants do it as well. And it's really sort of intriguing.
You just brought up something then, and I wanted to bring this up, because this was the episode where I really kind of started to have a problem with it, especially when I rewatched it. Why did it have to be in Sheffield? I have no problem with them not having everything be in London. All right, Russell T Davies did everything in London.
Yeah.
Moffat did stuff in London.
Uh-huh.
Leadworth is quite near to London, I think, and the big stories were in London, and Clara lived in London.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, I think that was Bristol University.
Yeah, might have been.
And I've no problem with things being in Sheffield, but why would the Stenza send Tim Shaw to kill a guy in Sheffield? And then the spider thing happened in Sheffield. The Yaz's family who encountered the Thijarians, the funeral aliens, basically. Mm-hmm. They encountered aliens and then moved to Sheffield, and now a Dalek's been buried under Sheffield. Why Sheffield?
I mean, it makes more sense at London because it's the
capital. I can buy everything more things happening in London because it's the capital. But
I think maybe moving this episode would have benefited from perhaps being somewhere like, I don't know, maybe Scotland.
Yeah,
something like that.
Just any other UK city, or maybe not even in the UK. Like, if a Dalek comes to Earth in the 9th century, why would it go to the UK?
Yeah, that does make a bit more sense. I mean, like,
and it's not like
back then it was like
they walk from the sewer to Graham's house. They take the TARDIS.
The TARDIS was very short range this episode.
Yeah,
I didn't quite like that. I think perhaps this one in the 9th century, what was kind of like a main-ish power? Not much. Maybe something more in mainland Europe. Yeah. Maybe like France.
Yeah.
And then it would have made a bit more sense to spread them out from there, and then it wouldn't all be concentrated in Sheffield. But it's like, don't go too far afield. Don't go to, say, somewhere like Africa. But do move it from Sheffield.
And this one was just a little bit like, okay, but everything's in Sheffield. And next series, I worry that we're going to get more stuff where it's all in Sheffield, and it's like, I ain't got a problem with you not doing London, but why Sheffield? It's not like Chibnall's from Sheffield, as far as I'm aware. He's from the south. So
it's just,
what's his obsession with Sheffield?
I don't know. It's just the fact, these characters are from Sheffield, make it personal to them. Well, stop, please.
What? It's still...
Spread it out a bit. Spread it out. It's... It could be like, this started in Sheffield, let's finish this little bit in Sheffield, but just, no, stop. It's... I've mentioned to you before that this design of this Dalek, whilst I'm okay with it looking like other Daleks, I am not okay with it sustaining no damage at all. I mean, the armies from the 9th century beat it, so first off, it's not invulnerable. Second off...
Well, they melted it with fire.
They still beat it.
Yeah.
They did beat the Dalek, which means the Daleks aren't invulnerable. We know they're not invulnerable. But to have them beat by a 9th century giant army using fire, to then sustain no damage after being remade with scrap metal...
Yeah. Rusty scrap metal.
...against the very small contingent of the British Army.
Yeah.
No. It sustains no damage. I cannot cope with that. I just wanted some bullet holes in it, really.
Yeah, just bullet holes. Maybe a dent.
Maybe a dent or two. Just show it being made of scrap metal and Dalek.
I don't know how it managed to build something that quickly, and I wouldn't have as much of a problem if it couldn't fly and didn't have missiles.
Yeah. wouldn't have had such an issue just like, oh, this Dalek can't fly, but the fact that it does fly and it's very quick.
Yeah.
It's just...
I don't like... I don't like the fact that they've got Nick Briggs to do the voice.
Who's Nick Briggs?
He's the voice of the Dalek since 2005. And he does a lot of Big Finish audio stuff as well.
Okay.
And he does the Daleks on there, and he's done the Daleks. He's voiced the Cybermen. He's voiced lots of different monsters.
Is he kind of the Doctor Who equivalent of D. Bradley Baker?
Yeah.
Who's the clones from the Clone Wars? Every single clone.
He does pretty much all the monster voices. So it was when it was in the casing. And it just sounded like all the other Daleks. I just wanted a different Dalek voice. And, like, it was weird because the voice of it outside of the casing was really weird. It was like, when it said, the first thing it says is, like, no, when she tries to take it off. And, like, that sounded like the Patience from World Enough and Time.
What was that?
When Bill... gets turned into a Cyberman.
Oh, okay.
The Patients who are like
But just I want it to sound like deep and menacing and everything.
And it just sounded the same, and it's a good Dalek voice.
Yeah.
I just wanted a different Dalek voice.
Yeah, because this is a different Dalek.
Yeah.
This is meant to be the deadly Dalek.
Also, but to be fair, it is also a bronze Dalek originally.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. But it also suggests that they're going to bring Nick Briggs back to do the voice for the others. I just hope... And I don't have a problem with him doing it. He's very good at it. I just hope it's a bit different.
Yeah.
When they do properly bring the Daleks back. Because this is very much just a one-off.
Ryan's dad appears.
He does, Aaron.
Alright. The oven?
I think that Ryan forgives him a little bit too quickly.
Definitely too quickly. I wouldn't have minded Ryan's dad just being the better man and like trying to fight back and let go in the vacuum thing.
I really thought that Ryan's dad was going to get sucked out.
So did I.
And like sacrifice himself.
I wouldn't have minded that. Maybe it would have been a bit too brutal for Ryan.
Especially on New Year's Day. At least it's not Christmas Day, but...
Yeah. But like, saying if this doesn't prove what you mean to me as my son, then... Don't know what will. Maybe sacrifice stuff. Okay, geez, that's got some weight to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They could have done more with his dad.
I think his dad will show up as a bit more of a recurring character next series, though.
Yeah.
I think it's setting up.
I definitely hope so.
I think Lynn, she was the one who got taken over by the Dalek. I think she should have taken the fall for everything she did when being controlled by the... Even though it wasn't her. But, like, she was aware of the thing she did. She was aware that she killed people.
Yeah.
She was aware that she was over the speed limit. I mean, she, like, kills 2 police people and then steals it, but, like, stands up and, like... That would be on the dash cam. There's no way...
You can hide that.
You can hide... And saying I was controlled by an alien squid monster ain't going to hold up in court.
Also, the police car they use. Why do they use an old one?
I just felt like she should be more remorseful for what she'd done. Even though it wasn't her fault.
It was quite established at this point that this was very much the Dalek. The peak of its control.
But I think she was still aware of it.
Yeah. I mean, this Dalek is interesting because of the fact it hijacks people.
I seriously thought that I think around about the point where she was in the car maybe or something, I genuinely thought we're not getting a proper design of Dalek here. We're not getting it in its casing at all. I really seriously thought it was going to spend the whole episode just like on her back or whatever, and we weren't going to see it in a case.
On her back, maybe, if anything, making a bit of armour for her. I didn't know about the fact that it was a bronze casing Dalek when it first came down. I thought this was like it hijacked some kind of warrior and made him basically godlike. and they ended up beating him by beating that warrior or something. That would have made more sense than them beating the Bronze Dalek.
Probably, yeah.
But the fact that it goes back to Bronze Dalek is a bit okay. It's a Dalek, but you made it seem that this was a special Dalek. Just lean on the special Dalek, please. So I was slightly expecting the sort of something like the different versions of the Cybermen. Because you remember they have like the normal grey ones, and then they have the one with the black head and the veil, and the one in the chair. I presume it's the same one, I think. And then there was the one where the Doctor goes back in time to the other dude with the TARDIS, which is a hot air balloon, and they have the ones that basically look like dogs.
The Cyber Shades.
Cyber Shades. I wanted something like that. It was definitely a cyber thing, but it wasn't a Cyberman. This was a Dalek thing, but I don't want it to be a Dalek.
Okay.
I would have preferred a bit more variation.
It makes it sound... I mean, I don't know about you, but it makes it sound like we didn't enjoy this. I did. I did really enjoy this.
I did.
And I will watch it again. I thought it was a great story. I thought it was a great Dalek story.
Definitely.
We're just kind of nitpicking. I think because it's more recent, we've got more
this is
stuff.
More prominent.
Yeah.
It's just that this could have been a fair bit better.
Yeah.
In terms of what they do with the Dalek, considering the Dalek is, I don't know, the quintessential Who villain.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just a bit more with the
But
Dalek.
overall, we did like this. What would you give this one out of 10?
Definitely something like an 8.
I'd say an 8. Yeah.
Good episode.
It was good. We just have a lot of nitpicks. It's don't get it confused that we didn't like it. We did.
We're petty. We are very petty.
Yeah, and I think it was one of the most Doctor Who-y episodes out of the run that we've had.
So there's definitely been in this period of Doctor Who, since the series 11 started in the Resolution episode, it's been full of some very good bits of Doctor Who. It's also been filled with some bits that we'd rather they didn't include. The frog.
I liked it, but you know.
Jesus. Just come on. A bit. It's been filled with some great Doctor Who. It's been filled with some mad Doctor Who. It's been.
I don't think it's. That's the thing. I don't think it's been filled with outright bad Doctor Who.
No, that's
not even Arachnids in the UK, which I still don't know how I feel about that.
It's been great, and it's been all right. It's been great, and it's not all right.
Yeah.
It's not been. Oh God, this is atrocious.
And supposedly Chibnall's getting more free reign to be more creative and do what he wants next series, and he gets more pre-production time and such. So hopefully
he does some
the
good work.
Good aspects of it will you know
remain good.
Will remain good, and some of the less good things will hopefully be removed. And obviously it won't be perfect, but I think generally, as much as I have been kind of meh about it after the series finished, because it kind of ended with a bit of a dud note, I mean, I think overall it has been a very good series. I'd say it's better than Series 9, Series 7, probably Series 6, Series 3 maybe.
Well, all I can say is, after watching all this, I'm very much looking forward to what Series 12 brings.
Yeah.
That's
only got a year to wait. Hey.
Oh God. I mean, they can prepare a lot. They can draft stuff in the meantime. They can get some pretty good ideas going.
Yeah.
Maybe for this series and perhaps the next series or whatever. Yeah. And that's what I just want them to. I want them to make this next series everything that this series was, everything good in it, and they take the criticisms from it, like maybe give Yaz a character arc, something to do.
Yeah.
Something like that, and then it would just be great. It'd be very good. And that's pretty much all I have to say on this, Doctor.
I've still got some things to talk about.
Oh, did you want to talk about music?
I want to talk about music and the main cast members, basically.
Okay.
Jodie, especially, really.
Jodie, I think Jodie's good.
I'm still not 100% sold on Jodie. Now, for most Doctors, their first series, you're not necessarily gonna instantly fall in love with them.
Yeah.
But I've said this to you a couple of times. I think she's written a little bit like a fan film Doctor.
Oh, yeah. I do kind of see that, considering just like, oh, I'm the Doctor, I knew all this thing. The other Doctor's just like, I'm the Doctor.
Yeah.
Except when they need to be proper into it. This one, I think Jodie is sort of finding her niche as the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That once the Doctor's found which sort of Doctor they're going to be, the series.
And I think she'll smooth it out next series, and
yeah.
I think when we'll look back at this, at her, she will be just one of the Doctors, but and it's not that I think she was miscast or anything, but I think she's a little bit too nice as well. But maybe that's just my personal preference in
Capaldi.
The different aspects of the character of the Doctor that I like.
Because most of the Doctors do try and be nice. They have this sort of moral code. But I think this one is far more prevalent in what Jodie's Doctor does.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sticking to this code, cross me and screw. Because other Doctors have had quite, you would say, sort of darker moments. Tennant had a few darker moments.
Yeah, Smith had darker moments, Capaldi had darker moments. Jodie hasn't yet, but it's only her first series, so...
Yeah, so she hasn't leaned into the sort of niche that her Doctor
She hasn't had an episode like
she can't...
Heaven Sent or Town Called Mercy or Midnight or something that really challenges her Doctor. Yeah. And it's only her first series, so that's fine.
And again, she hasn't had that because it hasn't been established what kind of a Doctor she's going to definitely be.
Yeah. I think there's enough of an idea, but I think it will be smoothed out next series.
You can't really write properly challenging episodes for the Doctor unless you know what this Doctor
and that takes a bit of time.
It does. I mean...
and supposedly they've got a 5-year plan, although one of the years is bugger all in it, so it's a 4-year plan.
It's a 4-year plan, but they can do something good with that.
Yeah.
They can definitely do something.
Music.
I haven't had an issue with it.
I think the music has been great.
Especially the title.
The title music.
I love that.
Jodie's theme is great. There's like a theme for the gang.
It's just been...
That's great. There's a theme for like the TARDIS travelling through space, which is great. There have been lots of individual themes that I think have been really good. There was a theme for Rosa Parks, which was great. There was a theme, the little Kerblam jingle, like the jingle of the company, then became part of the music. So it was like when you see the army of the postman, it like plays the jingle of Kerblam as like part of the music.
It's very sort of Lord of the Rings leitmotif.
I think every episode had its own musical identity. Like Demons of the Punjab had a very, it had tablas and other
leaned into the Indian. It's just they've all had some very good music.
I thought the music in Resolution, the first time I watched it, was kind of a bit in your face, and I thought it was like, it was odd. I think because I'm so used to Murray Gold's Dalek music, that this new music that they have for the Dalek, which is kind of more electronic rock band kind, it's not, but it's kind of guitars and drums and stuff. And I didn't really expect that for the Dalek, but the second time I watched it, I thought it was very good. So I think the music has been great.
It's been good music.
Yeah. Sagan Akinolu is a worthy successor to Murray Gold. And I can't wait to see or hear the stuff he'll do for other stuff, yeah.
No qualms with what he's done. Excited to see what more he can deliver to this franchise. Other character casting choices, Bradley Walsh. We love him.
Brilliant.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's actually great. He's if you want someone who's delivered emotion very well through this, Bradley Walsh.
Just like the way he can move his face in the slightest things to convey so much. It's incredible.
It's just, he is a good actor. And he's properly leaned into this one. I mean, Ryan, he's been alright.
Yeah, Tosin Cole and Mandip Gill they've been good with what they've been given. Neither of them have got as much as Bradley Walsh has, especially Mandip. But I mean,
if their characters are given more, I have every.
I think Ryan's had enough. I think it's just Yaz who hasn't quite had enough as she could, but hopefully she'll get more next series. And I think Mandip Gill is done good with what she's been given.
Yeah, it's just it's just give her more, and I'm sure she'll get the role. Very, very good.
Yeah,
because it's her character. It's what she'll do with it, and that's the thing, really, isn't it? Because this one is establishing what this series or what this Doctor's
era
could do, and it's been a quite strong start. I am all for the next series and whatever may follow.
I'm not all for the divisive, vitriolic social media backlash of people who are racist and homophobic and say racist and homophobic things and then claim to not be racist and homophobic. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not naming any names. I'm not getting into it. I just want it to stop.
This is Doctor Who. This one may seem more overtly political.
It's always been political.
No, that's why I said overtly, because
I know.
People do like to say, "Oh, it's got PC, gone mad." Whatever. Shut up. Watch the thing.
Just enjoy it, and
this is why we can't have nice
not
things.
Not perfect, but it's pretty good. And
if you just watch it with an open mind, it's good. But the minute you start saying, "Oh, it's too political," it's SJ pandering to SJ. No, it's not. I'm not an SJW. I love this.
Yeah, I'm not an SJW. Do I not want diversity in media? No, of course I want that. I think that's great, but I'm not. I'm not
an out there campaigner, extremist.
I will say in Resolution that line about it was like, I've got the safest digits in or whatever. And it was like, that's what I told my boyfriend anyway. That was a bit crowbarred in. That was a little bit pandering.
That was very crowbarred in, but I thought that it sort of it did make a little sense, because he said, "Oh, sorry, I should really just stop saying that," because he's being very flirty with the police officer. I'm just going, okay, like maybe if it was a fella and you're gay and he's a very attractive fella, made a bit more sense. This is a shift. That's what I tell my boyfriend. Sorry, I shouldn't say that really, but it's stuff like that could be a little bit better incorporated. I've got no problem
with it. I just thought it was a little bit. You could have done that better, Chips.
Because they've tackled racism in this one extremely well.
Yeah.
Because that entire Rosa episode was just. We're going back to Rosa Parks' time, and we are basically holding nothing back except.
And the fact that people are saying the Rosa Parks one, like, not every white person in Alabama was that racist.
Yeah.
Yes, but most of them were.
And the ones that weren't...
Well, I'm sorry, do you want to do an episode about Rosa Parks and segregation where all the white people they meet are like, I'm not racist?
No.
Piss off.
But also, if you've got to think about it, yeah, it's true. Probably not all of them were so violently, openly anti-black people. But the ones that weren't so openly anti-racism, they wouldn't make that public. They would not make that going out in the street and just go, "Hey, stop doing that."
Because they'd get beaten.
Because they would get beaten.
They'd get run over by the bloody bus.
Yeah, it's just you've got to really just think about criticism before you give it.
Yeah.
Which is why I think our criticism has been more with, not necessarily with stuff that they try and make historically accurate, because we know, okay, we understand what it is, but it's more the choices behind some of the Doctors. So like, some of my main gripes are with sort of Doctor Who focused things as opposed to real life focused things. Like, my main issue, The frog. Not the racism in Rosa Parks.
I'd say listen to, if you can, it's a hard listen, on SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud.
Which we don't have.
We don't like SoundCloud.
Billy Garrett John did an interview with El Patron. He's basically the main guy on the side of the fandom who is against the new series. On YouTube, he's basically the most prominent. Mm-hmm. So have a look for that on SoundCloud. It's like 1 hour and 15, I think.
I'll watch that.
Give it a listen. It's not easy to listen to. It's really not. If you're saying it's, but give it a listen. Because it really kind of shows where the, well, it's trying to be like, Billy is trying to see where he's coming from, and it turns out he's coming from a place of insanity. Just some of the things he says, I'm not gonna go. But just listen to it. I don't know if you're listening to this and you've not listened to that, go and listen to it, because it's mad that there are people who genuinely think like that. Some of the things he literally says, like, I'm fairly sure that, like, he basically at one point says that men and women aren't equal. He says that we don't need to learn about the story of Rosa Parks.
Is this the interviewee?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
We don't need to learn about the story of Rosa Parks. We don't need to know about the partition of India. When the interviewer brings up, like, similarities between, like, Jodie's Childlike Wonder and Matt Smith's Childlike Wonder, his response is, but there's the way it's done. And doesn't actually say about the difference in the way it's done. He's just like, yes, but it's the way it's done. It's just give it a listen.
It's baseless arguments.
I think we've recorded this in 2 parts, haven't we? So we're about.
God, this is a long one.
2:15, I think, one now.
Good Lord.
I told you it'd be long, didn't I?
We knew it was going to be long.
I suspect people won't be really listening to this one massively, but
if you're a Doctor Who fan, or if you know a Doctor Who fan,
yeah. I was gonna say at the start, if you're not a Doctor Who fan, bugger off, because this is Doctor Who.
This is gonna be.
Yeah, if you know people who like Doctor Who and you want to suggest it to people, share this around, please. It's been great to see the support we have had, but more support is always welcome. Go follow us on Twitter, Paul, which is
at @the_master_cast.
Well done, Paul. I'm proud of you.
I've learned it.
I think we're probably gonna say we're done then.
Oh yeah.
For now. Oh, the cups have been taken.
Oh no, we can't do our outro.
Hang on. So, I think we're gonna call. I think we're done now, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all we've needed to say on this very good series of Doctor Who.
We've had some technical difficulty. Not really. Hopefully, I mean, I'll be editing this. I wasn't expecting to, but hopefully you won't notice those, really. But if you do, I can only really apologise for that. But that's it. Are we done then?
I think we're done.
Oh, hang on.
We'll see you in the next one.